Hello, and welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica. This show right here is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business and sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to step on. Happy Thursday. It's great to see you guys. Today we got a good video. I think this topic is important for all of us, and it was a question I got a little bit earlier, and I did get another one of these questions today, but I've gotten it over the last few weeks, and I think it's a real good question. So the question is, how do I get past fatigue? How do I deal with fatigue? How do I deal with voiceover fatigue, if you will? I think this is a great question. And it's worth having a discussion about. So, I've been doing voiceover for a number of years now. And when I first started, I was super excited, like most of us. I mean, I was just thrilled with the idea of being able to be a voice actor. And, there wasn't much fatigue that could be had. But quickly, I would say quickly, especially when I started narrating audiobooks, I definitely started feeling the fatigue. And, it began me down a journey of figuring out how to temper my excitement with being a voiceover actor and combating, fatigue and, the long hours, especially when you have long projects. So, I put together a couple things that I wanted to offer to you as things that I've done over time now that help me combat fatigue, and I want to share them with you. So the first thing, and I think it's obvious, but we don't do it a lot because we get going and we don't want to stop, and that is you've got to take a break. Now, these breaks can vary. When I do long narration or audiobooks, that's usually when I have the hardest time dealing with fatigue. And for me, I had heard a story from, it wasn't a story, but it was a short audio clip from Scott Brick, who's a very famous audiobook narrator. And he talked about how after every page of narration, no matter what it was, he would finish the thought if it went on to the second page. But after every single page of narration, he would stop, take a sip of water, and then continue on. And I thought, oh, wow, that's actually pretty good. Because I think when you start, we don't know. I mean, I think our confidence in what we're doing, we're still trying to find it. We're still trying to learn. And we don't think about, what could we do? Does it have to be done this way? Do we have to continue to narrate? Do we have to do this? Do we have to do that? So what I did was I started to, do a page or even a chapter. And then I would literally step out of my booth or step away from wherever you were or get up, and I'd walk around for literally just like 30 seconds or a minute maybe, or just around in my area, not go down outside or something, just walk around right in my area. Then I would go back to narrating. And yes, you might think, gosh, after every page, yes. I mean, after every page or after every chapter or after every couple pages, it really helps. It really helps setting your brain. Also, it helps too when you're narrating, because I think the more fatigued you get, the more difficult it becomes to narrate, to pronounce the words correctly, to read correctly. It all kind of goes jumble on you, and it can be very frustrating. So that's one thing that I did. I would take a break, walk around. Now, in my studio here, I'm in my home, and I would literally, if I need a break, I'd go downstairs, do something, go have a snack. Usually the food and stuff that I eat and the drink and stuff, I do that. I also have a treadmill that I go over, and I'm starting to get more exercise, and I think that's very important too. I think fatigue comes a lot as well when we don't have the ability to exercise. And let's be honest, coming off of 2020, all of us were very fatigued, stuck in the house. I mean, it's been a rough year and a half. So we need to get moving. And I know for me, I sat for the majority of 2020. So getting back up, moving again, forcing myself to just move, get on the treadmill, do stuff, that's important. And they always say, you get that healthy body, right? It's a healthy mind. It's getting that energy out is important. So that's something that you can do. Another thing that you can do that I think is really important is strategic planning. So you might not have thought about this one, but I find that we get so caught in or so dug in on the technical work, meaning like just the work of narrating, editing, submit, like just the work, that we forget to stop for a moment, 30 minutes, an hour a day, and step back and look at our business strategically, meaning like, what are we trying to accomplish? What challenges do we have that need to be solved? You know what I mean? Looking at our business more from that entrepreneurial state as opposed to the worker in our business. If you think about it, I love the book E-Myth Revisited. And also Systemology talks a lot about it, which is ebook revisited, kind of like the second part, although they're written by different people. And then also a book called Built to Sell. And these are books, that talk about your business, even service businesses, strategically planning them in a way that allows you to focus on building a process, a system, and that system becomes your proprietary product as opposed to just relying on the service. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that, taking some time out of just the mundane work, the drudgery sometimes of doing over and over, voiceover after voiceover after voiceover, and think about your business overall, about planning, where do you want to be in a year from now? How are you going to get there? What are the challenges that you face? What are some things that you can start implementing? Do you know what I mean? That's a real benefit as well. And I find that oftentimes planning really helps fatigue, because you can also plan in things that keep your mind interested, keep yourself not, bored, if you will. And when I say bored, it's relative, right? I mean like just over and over again the same stuff. So I think that's a really vital component of this. And also, lastly, and this is something that I think really didn't dawn on me until I think I almost exploded, is that you need to have something else. I think we're all taught, at least I was, even by books and media and everything I'd ever learned or heard, that, when you go to build a business, you're supposed to do it 24/7. If you're not working another job, you need to be working that. You need to, eat, sleep, do everything, your business. And whereas I think that's beneficial, especially when you're starting out, it can be a necessity in some times to grow quickly. I think it can become really detrimental to your health, especially your mental health. And I find that it's important to note that our businesses, yes, they can become, a obsession of ours. They can become, a very big part of our life. But we can't let that be the only thing that we do. And I think if we do that, it becomes, it just invites fatigue. It invites frustration, exhaustion. Because it's like, well, what else do I have to do? You can still love this. Like, I love my business. I love voiceover. I love, communicating with you all. I really do. I could see myself doing this forever. But at the same time, there's other things I like to do. Do you know what I mean? I like to go do other things. I don't want to just do voiceover and sit in this room forever. And I think that's the thing that, we've got to take into consideration. We are a puzzle, and each piece of that puzzle represents a different part of us. And your business, all right, maybe that's a piece of the puzzle, but there's all kinds of other puzzles: relationships, hobbies, interests, health, goals, dreams. You know what I mean? Maybe you want to travel around the world. Maybe you want, you just want to go out and go fishing every weekend or something. Maybe you just, want to go running, or you want to, go swimming or whatever. Maybe you like to go to the beach. I don't know. Maybe you want to go whatever. It doesn't matter but the key is that you also plan to do other things. It can be tough. Don't get me wrong, especially when you're trying to grow your business. But you've got to do it. You've got to do it because the fatigue will destroy you if you don't. You have to switch out. You've got to turn it off. When I first started my business for a couple of years, I never turned it off. I never turned this business off. I never stopped. Morning, noon, night. It didn't matter when I was working my full-time job. It didn't matter when I was home. I felt like I didn't even sleep very much because I was always by my phone. I was always ready to answer a message. I was always ready to do something. And they came in, and I did. And I grew until it came to the point where I went full-time in my business, and then I literally, instead of working less after going full-time, I was working 10 times more. Because now not only was I working at night, but I was working all day. And then I couldn't sleep, so I couldn't sleep. I was going to bed at 3 in the morning because I'd stayed up for years until 3 o'clock in the morning trying to build my business because I was working a full-time job. So I got very fatigued. After a couple of years, it really took its toll. And I had to begin to put in place like a regular work day. I know as crazy as that sounded, but I get up, I do, I have a morning routine. At this point, I drop my kids off at school. I come home and, I work through the day and then I'm done. 5 or 6 o'clock, I'm done. And I don't go back to work. I mean, if there's some sort of emergency or something, or somebody's, hey, please, can I get this? It's fine. I can just walk upstairs to my studio. But generally speaking, I shut it off. I go do something else. I go do one of the other hobbies. My family and I, we love horses. We're into horses. So, I go and we go to the barn down the road. And, that's a really wonderful thing to be able to get away from, constantly behind a screen and something. Go do something. Whatever your hobby is, or maybe you need to find one, you got to go do it. Okay? Because it can be exhausting not to do so. So listen, I hope this helps. And I do want to point out that I really do believe fatigue is a real thing. Frustration, exhaustion is a real thing, especially in this business or any business. And you've got to take care of yourself. We got to take care of ourselves in a myriad of ways. There's the physical aspects, absolutely. But I think in the end, it's a mental battle. You've got to give your mind other stuff. It can't just be this 24/7. And you're not a trader. I mean, you're not a trader to your business. I thought for the longest time, if I wasn't thinking and eating and sleeping this business, I didn't want it. That's not true, especially if you're going to plan on doing this for the rest of your life. You can't do it. I mean, you're going to live a hermit inside your booth for the rest of your life? No. It's a part of our life. It's a fun part, but it can't be the only thing that we do. Or will, like this question, the fatigue, the frustration, the boredom will drive us insane. So anyways, I hope that this video helped. Thank you for everybody who asked that question. I think it's a great question, and I'm super excited that you did. And hopefully these little tips helped you out, okay? In the end, please, you take control of your life. This is your business. It's wonderful. We love it. But at the same time, there's more to you than just this business. And don't be afraid, to enjoy that as well. You're not a trader. You're not doing anything wrong with your business. You're living your life. All right, you guys. So, hey, just as a quick reminder, please like, subscribe this video. Also, if you don't know, we have I just came out with a brand new course. I did surveys and people ask for this course up and down. So it just released. It's called How to Process Your Audio Like a Pro for Beginners. And I go through everything from literally how a studio is set up, how your microphone works, to processing your audio, because all of that is vital to processing audio. So many people focus, I think, on, well, I've recorded it, now I've got to process everything. But the reality is so much of the problems that we run in processing our audio come from things like our mic position, the mic we have, the equipment we have, the interface, the computers, the space we have, the acoustical treatments, all these things. So I go over all of that in there. It's a really wonderful course. There'll be a link below if you're interested. And but otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you have a wonderful Thursday. I will see you tomorrow for Fiverr Friday. All right, goodbye.